Hello there. What's up, my friends? I hope this is recording and I hope that the phone's working. I have been using a broken phone to record my videos because my camera's crapped out a long time ago, and then my phone had a line of breakage along the lens, and it was getting worse and worse. Eventually, the screen just broke and stopped working. So I haven't had a phone for a few days. This is a new, rather used phone for 99 bucks, the cheapest one I could find. And that's because I'm a cheapskate and I like to buy things used and yada yada. And that doesn't really go along with the story here, but at any rate, maybe warms me up to a topic. I'm frustrated sometimes, like everyone else, right? I have good days, I have bad days, but I've noticed lately over the last couple of years, the little things just kind of push me sometimes further than they used to. I don't have a lot of patience. It's probably something that I should develop. A person would say, oh, patience is a virtue. I'm well aware of this. It's been an ongoing issue in my life forever. I've practiced different techniques or meditation or different thinking patterns, but I've kind of come to the conclusion that being impatient in a way is it can be a benefit. In other words, it goes hand in hand with other aspects of a person's personality, such as being an intense person as well. Those can also help you to focus if you can direct that energy towards something. If you can put that towards a project or work or writing, whatever it might be. It's like everyone, the authors are all crazy kind of syndrome, right? And all artists have, some sort of a spiritual issue they're contending with that helps them to create this amazing art. Some of the most phenomenal art comes out of depressive episodes or anxiety. But of course, there's the downside to that, which is that you're anxious or you're depressed or you're stressed out. And I don't consider myself a stressed out person. I learned to control my stress years ago when I had some severe anxiety. I said, I'm in my 30s. I can't live like this. That was back in my 30s. I'm 40, in my 40s now. But I wanted to deal with that issue. And so I did. I dealt with my anxiety and I got rid of that feeling of butterflies in my stomach. But then years later, I started to realize, of course, after more and more research, that those feelings can actually be beneficial. They can help to push you so you can know when you're not doing something right or when you're not acting appropriately. This is why people who take pharmaceuticals like benzodiazepines or antipsychotics can end up just saying they work so well, because it's not just that they help you overcome anxiety or depression, they just eliminate your moods altogether. They just make you basically a robot, so nothing really matters. My point being that I avoid those particularly because even though a person may be able to take a pharmaceutical and just lead what they would call a normal life, to me, a normal life has ups and downs. It has moments of aggression and moments of frustration, moments of happiness and moments of sadness, and that's okay. Because without that, I don't think life is really life. If that makes sense. So anyhow, back to Patience. I named my school bus Patience. I was just driving her. My other cars are busted down, and this is perfect segue into another part of this that I wanted to talk about, which is motivation. And even when I am motivated, because the thing is, they say when you're depressed, then you just lose your motivation. You sleep a lot, and all these things. I'm never like that. I don't. I get up in the morning and I'm ready to go. The only reason I'll sleep a little longer is when I say, "Damn it, I don't want to take a nap later," or I want to be able to party later the next night, or whatever it might be. Get my full 8 hours of rest and then get on with my day. But I like to get up. I like to grab my coffee. I like to go out about my morning and do things. And about midday, these days at least, I'm working on my guitars, and I've got several different guitars that I've been working on. This morning, I'm learning more each day, and I'm happy about it, and it makes me feel motivated and inspired. But amidst all of this, effort and all these new things I'm learning and the satisfaction that it brings, there's a part of my brain that's saying, dude, you should be doing this, or doing this, or doing this. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'm driving the school bus to pick up my kids from school. I could be driving either my Honda or my other. We have two Hondas in the driveway, which, I mean, one of them needs a part that's around $900 or something, but the other one needs a lot of help. It got stolen. Point being that If I just took one day, and I went out and just completely worked on the cars. I mean, not even me working, but I mean, I know a person would say, call a mechanic, get that taken care of. I've actually called like 3 different mechanics to work on my cars, and one of them flaked and took off with my tires. One of them, I just never called me back, and the other one told me about the part and how much it cost, and said he would ask, tell me if he could find one, and I never heard back from him either. It's partially my blame and partially the situation that I end up in, which is whenever I call an expert for help on something, they end up flaking or overcharging, whatever it might be. And I'm the kind of guy who's like a do-it-yourself kind of dude. I like to do shit myself. I like to get things done my own way. It's like, that's why when I'm building guitars, like I say, a lot of people who build guitars just build the bodies and then they order the next because it's just too much work. I don't want to trust somebody else to do it. I want to do everything myself. I mean, I'm very stubborn in that realm, in that regard. I even want to make my own, guitar pickups, and hell, I'd wind my own strings and mine my own metal if I could. Something to consider. But that leads me to the next part of this, which is sometimes it's better to just call an expert. Sometimes it's better to let other people take care of things because it eliminates some of that stress. But it can add a financial burden. And maybe it's just because I've always had an issue with spending money on shit that I don't need. Because I'm, like I've said before, I'm frugal. I shop at Goodwill. I do buy stupid things, but they're usually things I consume or experiences that I have rather than an item to look at. In fact, like this morning, I mean, I saw this Super Ray Dizzle. She's an artist that has a YouTube channel, and she did one about these colored pencils from Louis Vuitton. They were $1,200 for 12 colored pencils. Like, the packaging, it's just crazy, and then it's just 12 piece of crap colored pencils. It's just fascinating to me. I don't know. I'm trying to connect this because in my brain it's all connected together. The reason I feel the way I do in this society, the reason I feel like, what's the fucking point sometimes in doing societal things? Why should I be part of this or that, or be a modern, happy human and responsible? And because I have to live, so I have to make money, right? And I have to, beyond that, take care of myself, take care of my family, and try to eat and be healthy. But other than that, I don't buy into any of the societal bullshit. And I feel like that's what's a lot of what adds on to my frustration and depression or anxiety, whatever, these moments has always been the way that most people are just so easily swayed by other people's views of what's cool or what's right or what's real. Kind of this image we have that if we can just wear a brand name or do what some movie star says, then we'll be happier. It's crazy because I grew up in the generations where that was believed by a lot of people, but even then I saw through it. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're just people. Why do you want an autograph from an actor? It's just an actor. And now we're living in a time where I guess anybody can be that person. In other words, all of us have the potential now with the internet to be an actor or an actress or a musician. No longer are you separated from what you would consider to be celebrities because you could do it yourself. And I think that adds on to a lot of the depression on people feeling like they need to perform and be something better than they are rather than just being themselves. That's a difficult thing to talk to people about. Honestly, people say, what do you want out of life? All I want is just, I was going to say happiness, but that doesn't work because happiness is fleeting too. Without some sort of, the ups and downs, you can't really embrace happiness for what it is. I want to see the people around me happy, my family happy as well as myself. But I feel like there's just so much crap out there, just so much BS. People, I think maybe I hoped that at this time in my life, by the time I was in my 40s, that society would have started to see through kind of the BS that of marketing and that modern culture is, if you want to call it culture. But instead of that, it feels like people just dug in deeper. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I know this is kind of a ramble because I didn't plan this. The off the cuff videos can go either way. I'm really not sure how to go about these things in life. All I do know is that I really just wanted to touch base on the fact that I'm very motivated and inspired to do things in this life. From the outside, it might seem like I'm a go-getter, I get all this shit done. I guess I'm just opening up to let people know that there's all kinds of shit that I beat up myself about. Things that I should be doing, things that I'm not doing. I should be cleaning this or fixing that or organizing this. Then I start asking myself, well, what is really important and what's not? And I mean, I've just consistently been in this battle of what I want out of life, but also, I guess, what life wants out of me, because I'm willing to compromise with that. I have so many different interests, I don't even know what I want to do. And that makes it very hard to pick something. And meanwhile, we don't want to miss what we do have right in front of us. I don't know. Just thoughts. Talk to you next time. This is my ramble for the morning. Talk to you later. Be well. Don't stress.